They say we deserved it because we were sinners. So are the white people. If slavery was God's mercy, like that lady tried to say, where's the white people's mercy? Deuteronomy 28 is where most black Christians get this idea that because we were sinners and we didn't follow God's laws, that he allowed us to be enslaved, that he allowed white people specifically to invade our countries, put us in chains, and throw us on a boat to ship us across the ocean. On a boat called Jesus, nonetheless. Yeah, the first slave ship to arrive in Africa from England was called Jesus of Lebec. Jesus brought us to America to be sold, separated from our families, and subjected to one of the worst documented tortures ever. Black Christians have convinced themselves that their God, who is supposed to be all-loving, allowed us to endure the horrors that we endured done to us by a race that believed back then and still believes today that they are superior to us. So when do the white people get beaten? When do they get publicly lynched, raped, dismembered, and eaten for hundreds of years? When does that happen? When is it their turn for their hair to be used for couch cushions, for their babies to be used as gator bait, for their skin to be used for belts and purses? When will their teeth be yanked out and used for another person's dentures? I'm looking at you, George Washington. When will they become the property of another race that sees them as less than animals? I went to an HBCU called Prairie View A&M University here in Texas, and my HBCU was built on a slave plantation. And my family has been in Texas for many generations. Do you know how many times I was walking on my own college campus and spotted an old tree and wondered if one of my ancestors hung from it at one point? When do white people have to have those thoughts? When do they have to be regularly reminded that the country that they live in hates them and has always hated them for no other reason other than their skin color? Let me know. Let me know when it's their turn. Let me know when they get their mercy from God for being sinners. And the black people who believe this nonsense that slavery was God's mercy can never tell us what sins we committed. What did we do that was so horrific that God decided to allow us to be enslaved for hundreds of years? What happened to Ezekiel 18 that states that the son will not suffer the consequences of his parents' sins? If slavery was God's mercy for black people because we deserved worse, then why is it still happening? I'm not talking about across the world. I'm talking about here. Now, did y'all hear about that couple that had children, black children that they were keeping as slaves? Look it up. They just got sentenced. Nina Simone said it best. The people who built their heaven on your land have convinced you that your heaven is in the sky. Black Christians believe that they have to wait until they die to finally be free of this mercy. And when they die, it'll be too late for them to realize that they spent the one life that they had waiting for a reward that was never going to come. I hope someday that the term Black Christian is no longer a thing. There is no reason for any of us to be following this garbage.